now, today. I'm gonna go ahead and let Miss, Miss
We need an X on the floor.
y'all know. I should have practiced this before y'all got here. I'm gonna go ahead and kick off the back of the meeting and let Ms. King Handler go first. And she's gonna talk about United Way, and I'm gonna talk before and after that. Last year, we did a great job with United Way, and I know we've done a lot of other things, and we have a lot of organizations this year. This is still another organization we need the help. And again, I feel less than fortunate. A lot of times I got a son in college now that I send money down to College Charleston once a month, a lot of money down there for him. But still, I'm glad I had the money to send down there to College Charleston. So I'm going to kick it over to Ms. King Handler.
I put two things in your boxes earlier this week. There's a brochure that tells you some organizations that United Way supports, and there is a form for you to fill out if you want to support United Way. There are 4 areas. If you read this, and I know some of you have already, you know that education, income, health, and basic needs are the areas that they focus on. And as I said in my email, hope you read it, I know you've been asked to pull out your wallet, reach into your billfold numerous times this year, but this is something that helps our students here, not just in our district, but here at Westside. And I will personally plug the backpack program, which is an offering of United Way. You can support the backpack program, which means that students who would not have food over the weekend otherwise get a backpack of food, non-perishable food to go home with over the weekend. And it breaks my heart to think about a child going home on a Friday afternoon and having nothing to eat until Monday when they come back to school for breakfast, for a free breakfast. So that's what I personally support. And I support United Way through payroll deduction, which you can denote $1, 50 cents, $10, whatever it is that you want to come out of each of your paychecks. And I will tell you from experience, if you don't see it in your paycheck, you don't see it coming out of your paycheck, you don't know you're missing it. You don't know you're missing it if you just denote it for it to be taken out before you ever get your paycheck. So please, please, please support United Way. Last year we had a tremendous growth in our giving. We went from 6 people 2 years ago giving to 41 last year. We went from just a couple $100 2 years ago to $6,000 last year. Now, I would love to say we're going to meet that again. I'm not going to set a goal for us because I don't want us to not meet the goal. So please be thoughtful. If you're a praying person, be prayerful and give whatever it is that you're led to give. So please support United Way. I will even fill the form out for you. If you just email me your address and how much you want to give, whether you want to have payroll deduction or a lump sum, I will fill it out and bring it to you. That's how important I think this is. Okay, I will spend hours filling these forms out if I need to for you.
What's that work number that you're supposed to fill out?
Oh, you don't have to put the work ID number. You don't have to put a work ID number. Just your name and address. That's it. All right. If you have questions, let me know. Thank you.
Okay, the next thing, Ms. Cook sent out some information about Cornelius, that sudden passing, and again, it seems like it's really hitting us pretty hard right now. And the only thing I can say, a lot of times I don't have the words to say when tragic things happen like that. So a lot of times it's just support, going and knowing that your family cares about you. And y'all are just like me. Most of the time, you spend more time with your colleagues, your friends that work here than you spend with your own family sometimes. So again, some of y'all been in the situation I have too, where this faculty staff has reached out to me even before I got to Westside High School when my father passed. So again, whatever we can do, and again, I just threw, we had some more folks, Ms. Simmons and Ms. Evans, Coach Phillips. So just please keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers. Ms. Fisher wanted to talk about.
I said, no, I'm not sick.
a chunk in it because I just didn't know what to say. I was overwhelmed last week by the outpouring of love from the faculty. I personally set a goal when Herbie sent his challenge because I know how much it's hitting us, and I thought, okay, we'll make $500. And if you didn't get to read everything in Herbie's email or mine, we doubled that. We made we raised $1,250 for Relay for Life. I'm like Coach Roberts. I'm like Mr. Roberts. I'm sending so much money to Lander, and I only have 34 days left. And I'll be finished with that. But I just pray about it, and I give what I can. And I know Relay's just started, but I appreciate so much your support for you being there Friday, if you helped clean up, if you helped set up. And I just didn't know how to say it. I was scared I'd leave somebody out. So thank you all very much. It was enjoyable, and I'll look for y'all the next time.
It's kind of warm in here because it got a little cold yesterday, and anytime it gets a little cold, teachers love to holler, when are we going with the heat? So I was saying, you know what, I don't want to hear that anymore, so I pressed the button. And you know, in this district, when you press the button and go one way, you cannot turn around. So if it gets warm, we just have to suck it up for now. I didn't want to press the button, but I pressed the button. That's why it's a little warm in here. Something I don't have on the sheet, and I don't know if Major in first class or the first class in here. We're going to give them a big round of applause for the and Major, you know, anytime he has those assemblies and those things coming up, he's a nervous wreck, and he's walking back and forth past my office. But I got so many compliments from faculty, staff, from the veterans that were here to say they were just astonished by the program and the way the kids behave, and just overall, and the ROTC kids, they do everything. The only thing I have to do, I love when they set up programs, I just have to come with what I have to say, and that's it. So again, a great job on that, and we'll look for you next year, pacing back and forth when it's time to do it. I appreciate that. I want to go to the athletic part. You know, we're getting ready to transition into to basketball, wrestling, probably something I'm leaving out. Okay, maybe I'm not leaving anything out. So again, you know how I feel about not just athletics, but just kids being participants in something. But I tell you what, if you miss that ball game on Friday night, you miss something. So again, we did a lot of different things. It was just the game, but all the stuff that happened prior to the game. The tailgate was set up good, and I sat there with Mr. Tobin, and I tried to act all friendly, and I even walked out on the field, and I even walked on the hammer side and kind of smiled a little bit. Could not wait to get back when I was my face back right. But it was, but winning, and some y'all coach too, that's nothing to sneeze at when you can win a region championship, because that's something that this community can be proud of. But it's on the field, but I think the entire staff has done a great job this year supporting our student athletes, the band, the cheerleaders, and the game day experience. It's nothing like it. You know, we were on the road for 3 weeks during the season. I was so excited to get back home finally. So again, some of y'all go on the road, you follow us everywhere. And then when you see the kids, they got kind of humbled at Greenwood, so they their chest kind of went down a little bit, which they needed that. But I think just support and encouragement you give them every day and support them on the field and off the field was tremendous. So, and I appreciate that effort. Thanks for DJ. Recap of the Abbott visit. Ms. Dobbins gave me my information. She folded it down for me. Meant that I would lose it probably, but I found it. And she gave it to me last week. And I talked about this a little bit, and she did too in the team meetings. And I can send this out to you. Just wanted to talk about it first. We had a visit. This was back in October, the first part of October. I just want to read through what the lady said. It came. She said, tutorials were very strong in our classrooms that she went into. students knew what they were supposed to be doing during tutorials. She saw strong WICOR strategies in all classrooms she was in, both Avid and school-wide. WICOR posters were up in the classrooms. The promotion of the college culture was apparent throughout the building, the pennants, the posters, and she mentioned she wanted to see more focus on college culture inside the classroom, and we've already talked about that. Teachers did a great job incorporating the Cornell notes, both in Avid and in core content classes. Repetition was apparent, notes were chunked appropriately, and the summaries were awesome and answered the essential questions. She mentioned to make sure that we started giving kids the opportunity to take Cornell notes from other mediums such as lecture and video instead of just a PowerPoint with notes in front of students. Students were well behaved. After her visit, she said it looks like we're on the right track where we need to be with the school-wide Avid approach. Ms. Dobbins also talked about what we have to be and the timeline that we're trying to be a demo school. Being very excited about that because we don't have a high school demo school in the state, I don't think.
No.
So we'll be the first one. So we always want to be first. And also just some other things, some commendations. Avid elective teachers use the Avid elective standards and weeks at a glance the lesson plan guide. The school is committed to full implementation of Avid, with students enrolled in Avid year-long elective classes available within the regular school day. There was strong evidence that the use of WICOR was the basis for instruction and lessons in the classrooms visited. The college-going culture of the school provides visual reminders of future opportunities for all students. The site uses the most current tutor forms process and has tutors training in place. The work of the active core site team, the subcommittee, is impressive. And some of the recommendations are asking us questions. How can students take a leadership role in creating high-level questions and lead discussions with teachers as facilitators? And how can students take a leadership role in reviewing and revising notes? How can teachers incorporate the steps of the Cornell way into the daily lesson plans? And what in-house professional learning can be provided to assist teachers with planning and scaffolding of instruction to engage students in a more rigorous curriculum in all content areas? And she also said, thank you so much for my t-shirt. I've already worn it numerous times. Ms. Dobbs, anything you want to add to that?
I just found out that we are the only high school in the county that got asked to go for School of Distinction.
Wow. Let's give ourselves and with a lot of things, and Ms. Dobbs is right, she really telling it the way it was. I really think Avid is something we can hang our hats on, and like I said, my son was in Avid, and I see personally how it benefited our family, not just him. Ram Pride. Look, I need some Ram Pride. Continue to send names so we get them on the marquee, and I'm going to start putting them back on the show. Had a faculty member say, Mr. Roberts, it was much better when you talked about it and you read the kid's name, so I listened to the staff. So I'm going to read those names out if you send me names. So again, it's almost like if you teach 3 classes, some of you teach 4 classes for it, every week you should turn in 1 kid. I don't care if you turn the same kid every week, really. Because I think that just promotes and it looks good on our marquee when you got Ram Pride winners and people riding up and down the bypass. So whatever you can do to get those names in, then I'll start saying those on the show every week. Reminder about team meetings tomorrow. I know that's the notes, then y'all can always have my own notes too. Okay, all first year teachers. Not if you do the west side, if you're a first year teacher, stand up for a second. So we getting ready